Hi, good evening, everyone. Okay, so I'm live and really excited to be here this evening. So nice to see everybody here this evening. All right. Hi, Pooja. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
So we are live on Instagram on the Get Set Parent with Pallavi channel, and we are also streaming through the Arpan channel. We're going to share this video on Facebook, YouTube, as many platforms. We are so excited to have you with us, Pooja.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here as well. Thank you.
Yeah. So, my dear parents, today we are going to do something very, very important, and I would love for all of you to be extremely engaged in our session, participate, ask your questions. You know, we are a parenting channel, Pooja, and we talk about learning and development and keeping children healthy. But it keeps coming back to me that as parents, the number one priority of parenting is to keep children safe. First and foremost, it is to ensure their safety. So while we look at, the physical danger of, are they falling down? Are they getting hurt? I think an area which is often neglected or not spoken as much is how do we protect our children from predators, from, preventing child sexual abuse. And, I think this is absolutely critical. And I can't thank you and the team of Arpan for working so hard in this area for so many years.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
So, dear parents, I'm going to introduce Pooja and Arpan to you. It's very, very important to understand, what the organization does, and then we'll get into a lot of question and answers. Pooja, on the Insta story, we had asked people to send in questions, and we got an overwhelming number of questions and a lot of doubts on how to approach this issue, how to talk to children. What do we do if we come to know something like this has happened? So we're going to get into all of that. So dear parents, it's my absolute privilege to introduce Arpan to you. Arpan is an award-winning NGO working in the area of child sexual abuse prevention and awareness generation. Pooja is the founder and the CEO of this organization, and they've been working in this area since 2007. And they're India's largest NGO working in the area of child sexual abuse prevention. They work also in the area of advocacy and research, and to date, they have impacted over 1.6 million children and adults as well. So Pooja, with that introduction, I again welcome you to Get Set Parent, and hopefully by the end of this hour, I'm very sure, in fact, our parents will be very, very confident in terms of how to approach this issue.
Absolutely.
So Pooja, yeah. So straight off, I want to ask you the first question, which is, can you tell us about this area, about child sexual abuse in India? One always thinks that it's not something that happens in well-educated households or, in what we call a normal family household. Can you bust this myth for us?
Right. I think that's a great start. Before I answer that, I would just like to first talk about what is child sexual abuse, because very often we tend to mix up between inappropriate behavior and child sexual abuse. So just wanted to say that child sexual abuse is any sexual act by a more powerful person for the sexual gratification of that person. So it involves power. It involves that intent to abuse a child for the sexual gratification of that person. And I think it's important to understand that. So to give you an example, if two 8-year-old children are playing doctor game and they are touching each other's private parts, in that game, it's not sexual abuse.
Okay.
Part of their development process. It's common for children to play these kind of games and they are young children, so, and they are of the same age. So there's no question of power. There's no question of somebody getting sexual gratification out of it. That's not sexual abuse. Yes, behavior we can check on, but that's not sexual abuse. Having said that, it's also important to understand that, watching pornography, making a child watch pornography is also, and we not look at that as abuse, but that is a part of sexual abuse. Or using verbal language that is inappropriate, is sexual in nature, that is also sexual abuse. So in the continuum of penetrative sexual assault, any kind of kissing, fondling of any part of the body, and as well as showing pornography or any kind of verbal sexual language, it'll all amount to sexual abuse. So, there is a whole continuum of acts that come into it. But also to clarify, let's say an aunt, with a big bosom, comes home and out of love wants to hug a child closely, and that, little child's head is all, getting stuck in her chest. Is she trying to sexually abuse that child? No. So, but yes, it is inappropriate. The child might feel very uncomfortable with that act, but that is not. So just wanted to start off with clarifying that there are some acts that are definitely sexual abuse. There are some acts that are inappropriate. They need to be checked, but everything is not sexual abuse. So I think it's very important to make that distinction so that we are alert and vigilant, but we don't also become paranoid about it and classifying everything as sexual abuse. So wanted to start off with that.
And Pooja, I think this is a very important point you brought out, that when we say sexual abuse, it's not that it is only a rape or a penetrative abuse which has happened. It can also be exposing the child to inappropriate content, talking to them, touch. All of that counts as a child who has been abused, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And there was a recent judgment by a judge in Maharashtra, and then the whole country went in uproar that because there's no skin to skin contact, it is not sexual abuse. But I want to clarify that it's irrespective, it is sexual abuse. If a person is trying to fondle a child, it would amount to sexual abuse. So irrespective of these judgments, don't go by that. It's unfortunate that judgment.
It's startling that the statistic that we put out, that you put out, we got from you, that 53% of children in India have been through this. That's absolutely gruesome.
Absolutely. And it says some form of sexual abuse. So it's absolutely in any of this touch continuum or the continuum of sexual, which is also contact, non-contact. It's crazy, right? 1 in 2 children in this country have faced some form of abuse. And to me, when I began this work, it was extremely shocking that so many children in India are exposed to this. And, this myth that, it happens only in slums, it happens only in low-income, poor communities is a massive myth. We across socioeconomic strata, and we find cases across socioeconomic strata. It's happening everywhere. It's important to acknowledge that it can happen in my home, in my school. If you've seen films like The Highway, Kahani 2, those films were not set in a low-income slum or a rural area. It was set in, cities and in upper class cities, upper class families. So, you have also mainstream media that is showcasing that it happens in every economic strata. So, please do believe that, yes, it can happen in your home, to your child, in your school, in your environment, so that we are vigilant. Because if we don't accept it, we will not be vigilant. And it's very important to be vigilant.
Absolutely. Yeah. Also, taking off from that, this doesn't happen in good families, good households. The other myth is that, only if I have a daughter, I have to be careful. This happens only with girl children, right? So, but statistics show otherwise. Can you talk about how parents have to be vigilant, irrespective of whether they have a son or a daughter as children?
Absolutely. I think for all genders, we have to be very careful. Boys, girls, and all other genders, because remember, children are in some sense gender neutral, right? And so a child is a child. Period.
Yeah, they're asexual in a way, yes.
Yeah, they need our help, they need our protection, and every child is vulnerable to sexual abuse. In our own work, we found boys to be as vulnerable to sexual abuse as girls. So this is a big myth कि लड़की को protect करना है. ओ लड़की तू लड़की है ना, मुझे तो ज़्यादा ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. तुझे तो लड़का है ना, कोई बात नहीं, तू तो बड़ी बिंदास रह सकती है. अरे नहीं. You have to be careful about your boys, your girls, or all the genders. All children need that protection because sexual abuse किसी के साथ भी हो सकता है और सबके साथ हो रहा है. So it's a big myth कि boys. और मैं आपको बताऊं, government study जो हुई 2007 के अंदर, उसमें तो साफ statistics बता रहे, ये मैं नहीं बता रही. भारत के 12 प्रांतों के अंदर वो स्टडी हुई, 12,000 बच्चों के साथ हुई, and they found that 53% boys were sexually abused and 47% girls. Only data बता रहा है कि boys are in fact being more sexually abused than girls. So if you can't believe me, believe this data.
Right. Yeah. No, that is mind-boggling, and I think that that's an eye-opener. That 53% of boys versus 47% of girls. I mean, we need to take care of children and be vigilant, irrespective of gender. I mean, this is what this data actually says. And has this increased in India over the last couple of years, over the last decade, or has this whole awareness actually brought the cases down, Pooja?
That's a great question, Pallavi. In my opinion, I think reporting has increased. I feel that there is more awareness, more understanding of the issue. There are more organizations like ours doing some work. The government is doing some work as well. And so I think that there's more sensitivity to it. I think the media has played a huge role, and credit to them. Films have played a huge role where they've been able to bring about the issue in the forefront. And I think there is increased reporting for sure. It'll be very hard to determine the incidence has gone up. I think the reporting has gone up.
Okay. Yeah. I think half the battle is acknowledging that this exists in our society. And yeah, I think you're right. The fact that it's mainstream now and, these conversations are happening unabashedly, even in movies, makes a big, difference that, it can make a huge difference. The other myth that, people normally have is that if my child is with known people, everything is fine. And, it's the stranger who's giving the child the chocolate or, wooing the child with, some sort of toy. Those are the ones we have to be worried about. And the usual people in our ecosystems who we know, whether it's relatives, house help, that's fine. Is this a myth as well that, known versus unknown and the predators out there?
Yeah, it's absolutely a myth. And, like this, call it stranger danger is very easy to accept, right? Because that's an unknown person. I think it's very hard for all of us to accept that a relative of mine can abuse my child. We wouldn't even dream of it. So it's so difficult to even think about something like that. And so it's easier to believe that strangers abuse children and not known people, not neighbors or family members or relatives or friends or, even school teachers for that matter. Because I think we all love to operate from a place of hope and trust. And, it's very hard to accept that. But the fact is that most abuse is committed by known people. 90% of the abuse is committed by known people.
90%?
Yes. And it's not strangers as much. Yes, the strangers abuse as well, but it's not as much as the known people. Therefore, it's very important to be careful. And you might wonder that, how do I be careful with my child being with relatives? I think one of the most important things that I want to share is that make sure you have a very good communication channel with your children. No matter what topic you want to talk to them about or they want to talk to you about, have we as parents created a space where a child can, without any hesitation, come to us and talk to us about anything that could be bothering. It could be an unsafe touch. It could be something that happened in school. It could be something that the child felt hurt about or angry about. Have we created a space, a communication relationship that makes the child feel safe to come and talk about something? Because I would say we are able to do that, then the child will be able to very comfortably come and say, you know what, this is what happened, and I want to talk to you about this. I'm feeling very confused about it, because a lot of children feel confused about unsafe touches or sexual abuse by a known person, because the child thinks that this is a person I trust, this is a person known to me. वो कुछ करेंगे तो बुरा कैसे हो सकता है? ये पापा की फ्रेंड है, या ये तो मेरे मामा है, ये कुछ बुरा कैसे कर सकते हैं? तो बच्चे कंफ्यूज्ड होते हैं, और उस कंफ्यूजन में अगर वो जाके किसी से बात कर पाए और शेयर कर पाए कि मैं कंफ्यूज्ड फील कर रहा हूँ या कर रही हूँ, तो मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, ये क्या हो रहा है, then at that point itself the prevention can take place, and therefore it's very important to have that communication channel open. The other thing
Absolutely, Pooja. Just to reiterate, to all our parents and this communication doesn't happen overnight. This whole channel needs to be developed consistently and continuously every day, whether you do it before bedtime, whether you do it over a walk, because like you said, they're not going to suddenly come and talk to you about the big issues. They need to find that comfort in sharing the small problems before they come out with a possible monster. And that's not going to happen overnight, right? It needs to
start with very simple things, When a child back from school, how was your day? कैसा रहा दिन? आज स्कूल में क्या हुआ? ब्रेक टाइम में क्या किया? कौन से फ्रेंड्स के साथ खेल रहे थे? आज टीचर ने कुछ ऐसा कहा क्या? And you can also take the space to talk about how your day was. पता है आज दिन में ये ऐसा हुआ. You're working, आज पता है मेरी ऑफिस में ये पार्टी थी, हमने ये सेलिब्रेट किया. So you are starting off a conversation with the child, and I think that then tends to become then a habit, and it starts this communication engagement which can then continue. It's just that we to remove the time for it, and we need to make it a priority.
Very well said.
Let's say if the child is, with an elder person or a family member, or for anybody in a room, sometimes it's just great to ask some casual questions. You walk into a room and you find, let's say, an uncle playing a game with a child, and कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा होगा, but it's great to just ask questions, क्योंकि सब जने फिर alert हो जाते हैं. अच्छा, क्या चल रहा है? आप लोग कोई गेम खेल रहे हैं? अरे वाह, क्या गेम खेल रहे हो, मुझे भी बताइए. अच्छा, ये गेम खेल रहे हैं, वेरी नाइस. कौन जीत रहा है, कौन हार रहा है, क्या खेल रहे हैं आप लोग? So what you're doing is, when a child is alone with a person, you are sending out a message that you're keeping an eye.
Yes.
The abuser or the perpetrator is always going to commit the abuse in secrecy. If you don't environment of secrecy at all, the abuse cannot happen. And the fact that you are vigilant, because that message goes out, और किसी को बुरा भी नहीं लगेगा, क्योंकि आप बड़ा कैजुअल क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं, राइट? तो हमको लगा पूछ सकते हैं, इतना अजीब लगेगा, इनको बड़ा बुरा लग सकता है अगर मैं पूछूं, अच्छा आप लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? But make it a fun thing, make it casual, and
and make it a part of your style of keeping track of what is happening.
Exactly. Very.
And ये बात बहुत अच्छा पूजा आपने बोला कि सीक्रेट्स को लेके हमको अपने बच्चों को ये भी बार बार बोलना चाहिए कि between mama and baby, between dad and child, there cannot be secrets. And everything you come and talk to me about it. If anybody says there's a secret, there cannot be a secret. At least till, they finish their teen years, if they understand that you are not going to overreact when they share something, they will also not keep secrets. And I think this secrets is quite a dangerous word that, we should all be careful about, because obviously, like you said, if there is any, misdeed happening somewhere, the perpetrator wants to keep it a secret. Yeah. And we need to keep popping the balloon of a secret, saying, koi secret nahi ho sakta, mujhe, talk to me. And for that, the child needs to understand that you're not going to become hyper and overreact also,
what you need to do is create a distinction between safe secrets and unsafe secrets, and give them examples कि what is a safe secret. A safe secret कि अगर let's say मम्मी और आप मिलके पापा के लिए एक सरप्राइज बर्थडे पार्टी प्लान कर, तो ये एक सेफ सीक्रेट है, आपको जाके पापा को बताने की जरूरत नहीं है क्योंकि हम एक सरप्राइज बर्थडे पार्टी प्लान। पर अगर कोई जना आपको कहता है कि हम एक सीक्रेट गेम खेल रहे हैं और उसमें या तो कोई आपको ऐसे तस्वीरें दिखा रहा है जिसमें उन लोगों ने कपड़े नहीं पहने, या वो जना आपको किसी तरीके से छूने की कोशिश कर रहा है, वो बहुत ही अनसेफ सीक्रेट है। ये वाली तो जरूर मुझे आके बताना क्योंकि ये आपके लिए अनसेफ है। एंड फ्रॉम दैट यू कैन स्टार्ट अ कॉन्वर्सेशन ऑन सेफ टचेस एंड अनसेफ टचेस। एंड अर्पण, stay away from talking about good touch and bad touch, and I want to be rational for that is क्योंकि जब हम ये वाली vocabulary यूज करते हैं गुड टच बैड टच की, तो बच्चे इंटरनलाइज कर लेते हैं बैड टच। अगर उनके साथ ऐसा कभी हुआ तो वो छोटे बच्चे समझ नहीं पाते, उनको लगता है कि मैं बैड हूं इसलिए मेरे साथ बैड टच हुआ। और फिर वो है ना बहुत अफेक्ट कर जाता है बच्चों को कि मैं बुरा हूं, मैं बैड हूं इसलिए मेरे साथ बैड टच हुआ। तो इसलिए वोकैबुलरी हम सेफ और अनसेफ की यूज करें, सुरक्षित और असुरक्षित की यूज करें, और बच्चों को बताएं कि ये सुरक्षित स्पर्श है, ये असुरक्षित स्पर्श है। और आप सिंपल, बहुत सिंपल तरीके से बता सकते हैं। आप लोग सबने अपने बच्चों को नाक, आंख, मुंह, कान, गला, छाती, पैर, हाथ, सारी चीजें सिखाई हैं, राइट? तो हम उनको प्राइवेट पार्ट्स भी क्यों नहीं सिखा सकते? ये हमारा है। और बिलीव यू मी, बच्चे बहुत छोटी उम्र के अंदर वो समझ जाते हैं कि आपने ये पार्ट्स को स्किप कर दिया है, क्योंकि हम क्या शुरू करते हैं, छाती तक आते हैं, हमारा जेनिटल एरिया को स्किप करके सीधा पैर पे जाते हैं। तो वो 2.5 साल का बच्चा क्या ये नहीं सोच रहा होगा कि ये वाला पार्ट तो इन्होंने छोड़ दिया, इसका नाम क्या है?
इनफैक्ट पूजा, वो पॉइंट ये भी है कि जितना आप चीजों को छिपाते हैं, क्यूरियोसिटी उनके बारे में ज्यादा बिल्ड होती है। और when you leave out certain body parts, they are more inquisitive. अगर आपने matter of factly सब कुछ बता दिया होता या बता सकते हैं अभी भी, then it is, they also treat it normally. You have also created a whole, you know, aura around it and this whole stigma कि नहीं हम बात नहीं करते उसके बारे में। तो वो curiosity,
exactly, आपने सही कहा, वो स्टिग्मा ही फिर वो पिकअप कर लेते हैं। उनको लगता है कि अगर मम्मी पापा ने ये वाले पार्ट्स के बारे में कुछ नहीं कहा, इनका नाम भी नहीं बताया, इसका मतलब है कि इस बारे में नहीं बात करना है। Why do you think children don't talk about abuse? Vocabulary, B, they've picked up that taboo and the silence around it कि इन पार्ट्स के बारे में बात नहीं करनी, क्योंकि हमने उसको नॉर्मलाइज ही नहीं किया, हमने उनको उसके भी नहीं दिए। पर क्या प्रॉब्लम है नाम देने में हमको? और फिर यूजुअली क्या होता है, लोग है ना वो वैसे अलग अलग तरीके के नाम दे देते हैं। कोई पीपी कहता है, कोई ये कहता है, कोई वो कहता है। पर क्या जरूरत है? हमें बहुत आसानी से उसको उसके बायोलॉजिकल नाम से, यू आर टीचिंग नोज, आईज, लिप्स, प्लीज यूज द वर्ड्स पीनस एंड वजाइना। देयर इज नथिंग wrong.
And I feel schools also have a role. Schools, parents, everybody should work at normalizing the, like you said, अगर कुछ complain करना है तो vocabulary तो हम दे बच्चों को।
हाँ, और
कौन से एज में we can start talking about the body parts and safe touch, सुरक्षित स्पर्श, कौन से एज में हम इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं?
बहुत छोटे एज में आप शुरू कर सकते हैं। आप 4-5 साल की उम्र में भी शुरू कर सकते हैं ये चीजों के बारे में। अनफॉर्चुनेटली, और बड़ा दुख होता है मुझे बताने के लिए, that you know children as young as 3-4 are being sexually abused. So it's important to start young. The onus of protection is not on the children, and I want to clarify that. ये चाह रहे हैं कि बच्चे अपनी सुरक्षा खुद करें, हम चाह रहे हैं कि वो पार्टिसिपेट करें उनकी सुरक्षा में, क्योंकि हम सारे टाइम बच्चों के आसपास नहीं हो सकते। इफ वी कैन एम्पावर देम, टेल देम व्हाट इज सेफ एंड अनसेफ, देन दे विल कम एंड टेल अस एंड वी कैन हेल्प देम एंड प्रोटेक्ट देम। really believe that it's important to start young, give them the correct vocabulary. There is a lot of material out there that you can use. आप अर्पण की वेबसाइट पे जा सकते हैं, वहाँ बहुत सारे resources आपको मिलेंगे. We've got resources called the My Safety book, which is for 4 to 7 year olds, a colorful story book. Use that because I know all of us struggle कि अरे इस बारे में कैसे बात करें. हमारा सबका number one question ये है कि how do we talk about it? So take help. We have that in English.
Videos भी हैं शायद अभी. There are very good animated videos. Childline के भी videos हैं YouTube पे.
हमारे अर्पण e-learn courses हैं. We've got a very course for 8 to 10 year olds. We've got a e-learn course for 11 to 13 year olds. Use that. Take your child through that. It just takes 30 minutes and the child will completely understand about personal safety education. So I would really encourage you to, take your children through arpanelearn.com. Take those online courses. Very simple to understand.
I'll share all of these details. Maybe you can just send it to me. I'll put it up on the conclusion post. So, they'll know where to go and all of that. So you're saying from the ages of 3 or 4, we can start talking about, this is one of the big questions, when can we introduce? So we can start talking to them about body parts and, safe, unsafe touches. Then how do we take that information ahead for maybe 6, 7-year-olds? What's the next level of information we can provide?
Similarly, I think the concepts continue. The concepts don't change. It being that, it's never all right for someone to talk, touch, or look at private parts except to keep you clean and healthy. If such a thing happens, know and get away from there and come and tell a trusted adult. Keep telling till you get the help you need. And most importantly, remember, it's not your fault. And मैं ये दोहराना चाहती हूँ, ये बहुत जरूरी है बच्चों को बताना कि ऐसा कुछ हुआ भी तो आपकी गलती नहीं है. Survivors live with this trauma कि मैंने ही कुछ गलत किया होगा. Also क्योंकि हम पेरेंट्स की आदत क्या है, हम बहुत जल्दी ब्लेम कर देते हैं बच्चों को. अच्छा तो तू क्यों गया था वहां पे, उसने कहा उसके घर जाने की. अरे भाई, वो बच्चे को थोड़ी ना पता था कि वहां जाऊंगा तो ऐसा कुछ हो जाएगा. पर हमारी आदत यही हो जाती है कि हम बच्चों को ब्लेम करते हैं कि आप, और इसी कारण, इसी डर से कि मुझे डांट पड़ेगी, बच्चे बताते नहीं है अपने माँ बाप को कि ऐसा कुछ.
And also on the same side, the predator also takes the help of this fact कि वैसे भी बच्चों की कोई सुनेगा तो है नहीं.
Exactly.
Right? They also hold that crutch and have the confidence that the parents are not going to listen.
Exactly. इसीलिए वो positive parenting की बहुत जरूरत है. ये कहना कि तुम मुझे मैं तुम्हारी बात पर जरूर,
I'm on your side. वो confidence आपके बच्चे को आप ही दिला सकते हैं कि कुछ भी हो, मैं आपके साइड पे हूँ. And I will believe whatever you say. Exactly. Because it is probably better to err on the side of supporting the child rather than, take that, give benefit of the doubt to the adult.
Exactly. और ऐसा कुछ अगर बच्चे ने आके बताया तो मैं ये भी बताऊं that, I know that, all of this can be very shocking. और, क्या होता है, एक तो कि कोई known person हो तो वैसे बड़ा शॉक हो जाता है. दूसरा मुझे लगता है कि immediately we parents start feeling guilty. That, this happened with my child and I wasn't able to do anything about it, or I wasn't there to prevent it. So I think it's very important to, keep that momentary shock and guilt aside and deal with the situation. Your child at that point needs your love and support, needs you to...
So, how do parents deal with it? So, suppose, मेरा बच्चा has come to me and told me कि मम्मा ऐसा कुछ हो गया है मेरे साथ. तो अब पेरेंट क्या करे? अब मतलब जो प्रिवेंशन या विजिलेंस करना था वो किया या नहीं किया वो अलग बात है, बट अब बच्चे ने आके कन्फेस किया कि मॉम दिस इज हैपेंड एंड आई एम वेरी अनकंफर्टेबल और दिस पर्सन हैज टच्ड मी. व्हाट शुड बी द नेक्स्ट स्टेप्स दैट द पेरेंट शुड टेक?
Firstly, you need to assure the child that you are there for the child. That's the most important message to go out. एक कि बच्चे के साथ ऑलरेडी हो सकता है कि वो थोड़ा ट्रॉमेटाइज्ड हो जाए या ज्यादा ट्रॉमेटाइज्ड हो जाए. वी डोंट नो, हर बच्चे की रेजिलियंस अलग होती है. वी डोंट नो हाउ दे वुड टेक दैट एक्सपीरियंस, एंड सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट that we assure the child that, look, I am here for you, I'm here to help you, and tell that to the child that I'm going to help you. I'm so proud that you've come and told me about this, and actually say it like that. I am so proud for you to come and tell me about this. I am going to help you. These two sentences are very, very critical to communicate, because the healing process of the child starts with the moment in the way the disclosure is handled. हम कैसे process शुरू होता है. And so therefore it's very careful. If we react कि क्या ऐसे कैसे हो गया, तुम वहां क्यों गए, तुमको नहीं जाना चाहिए था, why did you go there, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that, or you know, I can't believe you are lying, how can this person do this, no, this is just not possible. Boom, the child is crestfallen. Now the child thinks कि अच्छा इनको तो बोल के अब कोई फायदा ही नहीं हुआ, उल्टा मुझे डांट पड़ गई. And you know, the child feels that, oh no, like, you know, now what's going to happen? The child also might feel even more betrayed. One, there is betrayal by a known person or a stranger, and now there is further betrayal because important caregiver is not believing me.
So whatever happens, the point of disclosure is not the time to say I told you so. Right? I mean, even if you have been coaching the child for 10 years and it has still happened, still parents have to resist the urge to say, bola tha maine, ya I told you. That's never the time to say that.
Exactly.
Right?
And the thing that you need to do is that if it's a known person, you need to address it with that person. And to do it very assertively. And you might think, जाने देते हैं, ये तो family के बड़े हैं, इनसे कैसे
हाँ, ये बहुत बड़ा इशू होता है ना पूजा, मतलब क्योंकि फैमिली फ्रेंड है, फैमिली रिलेटिव है, you know, anybody else. What should the parent do? Should they confront the person?
Yes.
Or cut them out? What do they do?
The child, not in front of the child. In front of the child, confront the person separately and say, look, I have come to know about this. And this is absolutely not okay. And I will not have you touching my child ever again.
Should it be reported to the police?
You can even do that. It's up to you.
Okay.
Everybody makes different choices about how they take things forward. One way is to report to the police and file a complaint. We have a brilliant legislation called POCSO in place in this country.
Can you talk about POCSO a little bit?
Absolutely.
Just an outline for parents. Yeah.
It covers all kinds of sexual offenses, right from harassment, molestation, penetrative sexual assault. It also covers showing pornography, making a child watch an act of sexual assault or sexual intercourse. And there are different penal provisions for it. What's lovely about this legislation is that it is gender neutral, which means that not just for girls, but it's for boys or children of any gender. So you can use and file a case under POCSO for any gender of the child. The other brilliant thing about POCSO is that it shifts the onus of proving that sexual abuse didn't happen on the abuser. So the abuser needs to prove कि ये मैंने नहीं किया. It's not on the onus of the child or that family to prove कि इस abuser ने ये ऐसा किया. So I think those are some really great points. Even the procedural part of it, you know, the police will come in plain clothes to wherever the child is comfortable. The child doesn't need to go to the police station. There will be a woman.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. The woman
so your parents, POCSO stands for Prevention of Child Sexual Abuse.
No. Protection of children from offenses.
Protection of children against child abuse. Okay, and the plainclothes policemen come home. You don't have to go to the police station or take the child to the police station.
So you will have to go to report, but when the child's statement is being taken, the child doesn't need to be taken to the police station. The police person is supposed to come to your home or wherever you call the police.
That's nice. That's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a time frame in which they are bound to act upon the case?
Absolutely. So, you know, the procedures, in 90 days, they have to file a charge sheet and then for hearing. So those things are there. It also provides that, you know, speedy hearing happens. But, you know, I do want to share that very often speedy hearings don't happen. So, you know, while it is there on paper, it doesn't happen. But, you know, if you really believe that you want the justice through the criminal justice system, then go by that. There are some challenges with the whole system, which we are aware of. But, you know, it's up to you to take that recourse. I do want to emphasize that counseling for the child is very, very important. You know, you know, irrespective of whether you go report to the police or not, you the abuser ended there, and then you might feel कि अच्छा अब तो हो गई बात, अब वापस होगा नहीं, मेरा बच्चा भी भूल जाएगा. But I do want to make it a point कि ऐसा नहीं होता है. No child forgets about the experience of abuse ever.
In fact, I think every adult who has gone through it doesn't forget it, even if they're 50 or 60 years old.
Very
even
true.
a life, you just don't forget it. It's not something that vanishes because you have a nice life after that.
We've got adult survivors in their 50s and 60s coming in for counseling. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि अभी तक इस उम्र में भी 50 होके भी, 60 होके भी, 65 होके भी, they are seeing the impact of the childhood sexual abuse still in their lives. And they've come in for counseling just so that they can heal and they can reduce that impact or get rid of it. So that's a very clear indicator that nobody forgets about it and the impact stays on. And I will talk a little bit about the impact. हमको लगता है कि बच्चे भूल जाएंगे, सब चीज खत्म हो जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं है. ये एक ट्रॉमा, आघात जो होता है, हमको अब्यूज के आघात हो सकता है. आघात हमारे ब्रेन के अंदर एक्चुअली एक बायोलॉजिकल चेंज पैदा करता है. आप लोग रिसर्च कर सकते हैं. MRI स्कैन्स बताते हैं कि ब्रेन में एक्चुअली चेंजेस होते हैं और ये रिवर्स हो सकते हैं काउंसलिंग के द्वारा. The trauma that we go through can change the way we perceive relationships and the world permanently, and it can have a very detrimental effect on the well-being of the child. Children can have nightmares, children can develop UTIs, children can, their academic performance can get affected, they might turn completely introverted.
Lose confidence, faith,
A lot of fear can set in, a lot of shock can set in. They might also go the opposite way of behaving very promiscuously, using language that is not appropriate. If they are adolescents or young adults, in their teenage years, one can also see suicidal tendencies, depression, substance abuse, use of drugs and alcohol, all kinds of post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. And
so Pooja, when you say counselor, how do parents go about finding the counselor? Should it be a school counselor? Where do people find counselors?
You can reach out to any counselor.
Okay.
Or if you have a school counselor and they have, I don't know if every school counselor has experience of managing such cases, but basic school counselor bhi kar payega. Otherwise, Arpan's helpline is there. You can call Arpan at any time. Our number is 9819086444.
So maybe from Arpan team can just put it in the comment section.
Yeah.
The helpline number. Yeah.
I'll repeat again, 9819086444. We have very trained counselors. You can call us. We are also doing telephonic counseling. तो अगर आपको इन पर्सन नहीं आना है तो भी ठीक है. इफ यू वांट अनोनिमस काउंसलिंग दैट्स आल्सो पॉसिबल, बिकॉज हमको लगता है अरे हमारा फैमिली ऑनर क्या होगा अगर हम किसी काउंसलर के पास जाएंगे, उनको पता चल जाएगा कि मेरे बच्चे के साथ सेक्सुअल अब्यूज हुआ है. अच्छा, मैं तो नहीं चाहती कि किसी को पता चले, इसकी शादी कैसे होगी बाद में, इतना स्टिग्मा, इतना फैमिली ऑनर. I am saying put all of that aside. If you really care about your child, you want your child to have a healthy life ahead, mentally, physically, psychologically, please go in for therapy and counseling. ये कोई सिर्फ लोग दिमागी हालत खराब होती है काउंसलिंग उन्हीं के लिए, ऐसा नहीं है. हम कैसे डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, सर्दी खांसी बुखार हो गई तो क्या इसका मतलब हो गया कि हम परमानेंटली बीमार है? नहीं ना. तो सिंपल सी बात है, वी गो टू अ काउंसलर क्योंकि हमारी वेलबींग अफेक्टेड हो गई है. एंड सम ऑफ द पीपल वाचिंग दिस, इफ यू आर सर्वाइवर्स, अडल्ट सर्वाइवर्स, यू एक्सपीरियंस सेक्सुअल अब्यूज एज अ चाइल्ड, प्लीज रीच आउट. We have a right to live healthy lives. We have a right to be happy and live joyful lives. Address what has happened, get it out of your system, and go have an amazing life ahead of you. क्योंकि ये चीजें हम address नहीं करेंगे ना, ये जाती नहीं है. कितना भी सोच लो, ये जाती नहीं है. वो scars हमेशा हैं, and if you don't do therapy and counseling, वो scars हमेशा remain करते हैं. So do address it. I will so recommend that because
this is very well put. I think the process or the closure is not complete till the child has been counseled. Even if you have identified that something's happening and you've got to the perpetrator, the cycle is still not closed till you take care of the child, right?
Absolutely.
Also, the government of India has a 1098 Childline number, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. You can call Childline as well. Childline is an emergency helpline. They will send a person to, if a child needs rescue, they will rescue the child.
Across the country, right? All of this is across India, across police stations. Everybody is aware of POCSO. Everybody knows 1098.
Childline is not does not provide counseling. Childline provides emergency help. So उस समय अगर किसी बच्चे को help की जरूरत है, a child can also call 1098 and adult can also call. So let's say if you it's not happening in your family, but you saw a neighbor abusing a child, you can call Childline and say, will you get involved in all of this? अरे मैं इस झंझट में नहीं पढ़ना चाहता, फिर मैं उसमें पढ़ना पड़ेगा. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. Childline will take care of it. You call Childline and say, look, I saw this person touching this child inappropriately, can you take care of it? And they'll come in and they'll take care of it. So let's not be silent.
That's a very good point, Pooja. I think people are
bystanders. Let's raise our voices. We need to break silence and raise our voice against child sexual abuse, because no child deserves to go through this. No child.
And I think, Pooja, you brought out a very good point that झंझट से बचने के लिए बहुत बार नजरअंदाज कर देते हैं हम, चीजों को आंखें बंद कर देते हैं. But for one child, that's, his entire or her entire life and her future. And if we see something like this, it is, I think, a moral obligation as an adult, as a parent, as a, as a humanitarian, as a good humanitarian, to report and, raise our voice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, dear parents, if you have any other questions, please drop it in the comment section. And, we'll ask Pooja. Pooja, another question, we'll conclude in the last two questions. Another question which came about is the influence of media and movies and content that children are exposed to, which kind of propels them to explore, to ask questions. Earlier we didn't have so much access to content like the way now. Of course, in lockdown, children are on their digital devices. They have access to so much content. So what do you have to say about exposure, and what can parents do about that?
It's the same formula. Yeah. We have to talk to our children about what's appropriate, whether it's offline, whether it's online. I would say that vigilant about what your children are watching, and what are they being exposed to. But you don't want to be an overtly person watching everything that the child is doing. नहीं तो क्या, एटलीस्ट यंग चिल्ड्रन के साथ तो चलो ठीक है, पर जब ये हमारे ये टीन्स वाले बच्चे हैं, इनको बड़ा uncomfortable लगने लग जाता है. And so I think with that age I would strongly recommend, again, just communicating and talking to them about
building a channel of trust and open dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. Not being overtly like a hawk watching everything that they do. Even, I know COVID has thrown all of us online. Children are doing online classes. With young children, definitely keep a watch. Computer अगर living room के अंदर हो तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है. आते जाते आप देख पा रहे हो कि बच्चा क्या कर रहा है, वो अच्छा है. क्योंकि कई बार क्या है, young बच्चे they don't purposely look for that. कुछ चीजें pop up हो जाती है कई बार आपके out of control.
Correct.
तो उस समय अगर ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है तो आप उसको कंट्रोल कर सकते हो. तो
apart from not allowing children to get into their tech bubbles, public space is very important. And also parents, if you can, set up parental controls, use child-friendly browsers, all of those, also YouTube Kids instead of a YouTube, and put all parenting controls in place. It will at least block all these unwanted pop-ups.
Yeah, to some extent, yes. But again, depending on the age of the child, you will have to put the settings. And, yeah, just I think communicate. Communicate. That's really
Communicate, right. So thanks a lot, Pooja. I think the first and foremost thing which comes to my mind is that we as parents cannot push this under the carpet. We need to take cognizance of the fact that this exists in our society, it exists in our close communities, and it can happen to anybody. So instead of, just brushing it away, it is better to kind of take the bull by its horns, teach our children, talk to children. Also, I think, in our daily dealings with people, right? I mean, these small things, don't send your children alone with drivers on drives, or, to drop to school, always have a female attendant or a parent, all of these things, I think, we need to keep consciously bringing it back into our daily lives and not take it easy, because that 1 minute can
I think it's a balance that's required, Pallavi, because, if you be too paranoid and too vigilant, the children pick it up. And, that create anxiety in them as well. And that will affect their psychology. At the same time, it's not okay to be too lax and too bindas ki acha kuch nahi hoga. Theek hai, theek hai, chalta hai. I think somewhere in the middle, to find that balance, to be just vigilant, just about vigilant enough, just about being careful and taking the right steps of, taking care and, creating that safety net for your children. So I think we all need to find that balance.
Find that balance and educate ourselves. And this is what we call informed parenting.
Very true.
We have to be informed and research about it ourselves and then filter, how much, at what age, what should they know.
Point on that, कई बार हम parents कहते हैं, अरे मुझे तो ये internet समझ में नहीं आता, अरे ये कौन से tech platform I don't know. You cannot say that in today's age that I don't know, अब मैं क्या करूँ. You have to be informed. You need to know what are the tech platforms out there, what is the social media out there, what is going on. Because if you don't know, there is no way you will get a sense of what's going on. So in today's time, you cannot say that I am helpless, I don't know. Go figure it out. You have to go figure it out.
Yes. And I think, I want to congratulate all parents who have taken the effort to come and listen to a talk like this, who are taking the effort to research about things like this, follow Arpan Insta page, follow an informed parenting page, because it shows that you are taking those right steps. And, today, you cannot behave like the way our parents behaved with their grandparents. Grandparents were always, unko pata nahi, it was easy to cheat them, right? It was always, let's just get off the hook. But it can't happen today, and it shouldn't happen.
Great, wonderful. I think it's been a fabulous chat, and I've really enjoyed being here, Pallavi. And, all the parents who are watching, thank you for being here, and thank you for all those questions that have kept in.
Thank you so much, Pooja. We are going to put this out across all our platforms. We have over 60,000 parents who Get Set Parent reaches out to. And I can't think of a more important talk that, we could have had. Women's Day month, informed moms, informed parenting, please. So thanks a lot, Pooja. And a big congratulations and a big hug to everybody at Arpan and to you for doing the wonderful work that you do always.
Much appreciated.
Thank you, Pooja. Thanks so much.